Elders called by the Beckoning. Key domains falling to Anarchs. The rise of the Second Inquisition. Times are hard for the Ivory Tower. In such dangerous times, mastery of the art of diplomacy is essential. Working on the front lines of conflict between Anarch revolutionaries and Camarilla Princes, the Ventrue Archon Lucretia Wright is a decorated diplomat in high-risk situations. When the sect needs cooler heads to prevail, she is among the best options. You have mastered some of her lessons. Greetings, kindred. I am voivodemekhet, and welcome back to our World of Darkness and the Laws of the Night playlist. In this playlist, we go over LARP, live action roleplay rules for Vampire the Masquerade, which are presented to us by Mind's Eye Theater and By Night Studios. So, Loresheets in the book are marked down as a special type of background advantage. You can buy these at character creation, or with your storyteller's permission, you can buy them after your character's already been in play for some time. This is something that you're going to want to talk to your storyteller about, because not all Loresheets will fit within the confines of a chronicle. Loresheets are a special way of not only giving your character a special advantage or advantages in gameplay, but also tying them in to the overall background meta plot within the Vampire the Masquerade storyline. I have found as a storyteller that Loresheets tend to be ignored at character creation just because it's a new mechanic and people don't exactly know what it is. Now, depending on when you're watching this, or even in your chronicle setting, this might not be true for you. You could very well have a game there people are obsessed with Loresheets, and with good reason. People who are used to playing Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition tabletop will know the benefits of Loresheets and exactly what they can do for your character. And there are several options in Laws of the Night and in future publications coming out from By Night Studios. That being said, I do want to point out that Loresheets are a lot different in LARP than they are in tabletop. In the tabletop setting of Vampire the Masquerade, Loresheets are going to add a special nuance to your character sheet. You might get a bump here and there in a background or even a discipline power because you have an associated lore sheet. However, in LARP, Loresheets tend to be a heavier hitting mechanic. They give you massive advantages. And they also should be something that are limited in a game. Maybe only allowing a certain number of people out of a larger group to take that amount. Or you could build an entire chronicle completely around a lore sheet. Another huge difference from tabletop to LARP is that, much like all other backgrounds in LARP, the lore sheets are limited to 3 different advantages instead of 5 as they are in tabletop, as there is a condensed way of running things, as with all backgrounds in LARP, compared to tabletop. Purchasing lore sheets can be done with your free points at character creation. At character creation, you get 7 free background traits, and you are completely allowed to dump those points into a lore sheet, getting those free dots. And I want to stress that very much because there's a difference between dots and experience traits. At character creation, you will be given a free amount of experience traits to flesh out your character, to make them an individual. And when you have those are to be spent as experience points. Backgrounds are purchased at 3 experience per dot. But with your 7 free traits of dots, you can just take the points completely without worrying about the expanded cost when it comes to experience. That being said, if you wanted to buy the Sect Veteran Lore Sheet, for example, taking that would cost you 6 of your 7 free dots of backgrounds. However, if you're going to buy it with your free XP at character creation, it would cost you 3 points for a level 1, 6 points for a level 2, and 9 experience points for a level 3. Bring the total to 18 points if you wanted to buy a complete lore sheet. Now, personally, I am the kind of person who likes to buy things little by little over time so that my character has a chance to grow into what those advantages are. That is my style of playing. It is not the only style of playing. And being able to start with a small amount of a lore sheet to build up the tension is a lot of fun. With that being said, you do not have to buy these in order of experience. You do not have to start with level 1. You could very well start with the 3-point background instead, because what these are associated advantages with the meta plot that your character can take advantage of in any order they wish. You could buy a 1, you could buy 1 and a 3, you could buy just the second one. You can do it any way you want to. And that needs to be kept in mind, that these are not a progression style trait. In that way, multiple characters could start with the same lore sheet and have completely different advantages for taking it. So the lore sheet Scion of Lucretia is Camarilla only, not Ventrue only. She is a Ventrue character, but she does take on students of other clans. So what benefits being a Scion of Lucretia? What does it provide? Investing 1 dot into this lore sheet gets you Peacemaker. Your ability to bring together kindred of opposing ideals and have them peacefully discuss their differences is renowned. Once per night, when you or a vampire in your presence is required to take a frenzy test resulting in a political disagreement, you can allow them to pass a failed test. You also gain the first 2 dots of the etiquette and politics skills. That's very large, especially if you're dealing with somebody who is an emissary of some type. The idea of, I'm coming in, we're going to have a discussion, oh, you're getting too much, and you're not going to frenzy, coupled with the fact that you get 2 traits for free of 2 different abilities, that really does add a lot to the benefit of this. I'm actually thinking of a character in my head right now about who's going to end up having this. Investing 2 dots into this lore sheet gives you revitalization. Negotiating peace is the first step to rebuilding threatened Camarilla cities. Rebuilding is the second step. You are an expert at bringing resources to bear to help. You may choose 6 free dots of the contacts, resources, or allies' backgrounds, or their associated advantages, representing the support of other allied Camarilla cities. You may only use these backgrounds in a city where the Camarilla authority exists. This one right here really does offer a holdup. First off, you need to be in a Camarilla authoried city to be able to utilize the backings. And that can actually build onto a city. But 6 points in backgrounds, in allies, contacts, resources, all that stuff, and their associated advantages, really does bring a lot of opportunity to what you could possibly accomplish. I personally think backgrounds are just massively overlooked when it comes to these games. So many people just want to use their attributes and their skills, but I really do find backgrounds to be the backbone of the way this game can be run. Investing 3 dots into this lore sheet gets you Armistice. For conflict to be resolved, there must be peaceful discourse. You have learned how to ensure a meeting is truly safe and call an armistice. Once every 3 months, prior to the beginning of a game session, you may select a location within your city. You may then call any number of vampires to this location to enter into a parley. Peace is expected and safety is assured. Because of your security measures, anyone present in the scene may immediately declare fair escape at will. This overrides all other rules and restrictions on fair escape, including initiative order. If a character declares fair escape, they must immediately leave the scene. They may either safely escape the city or travel to a location of their choosing within the city. This mechanic expires at the end of the night. Armistice is actually a fairly powerful thing. You basically can call on the right of Elysium every 3 months. And the fact that you can get people there and get them out if things get heavy. Fair escape is a mechanic that is indisputable in this game. If somebody can call fair escape, and this allows you to bypass any rules that means that you can't, then you're out. You're free. You have lived. You've succeeded. Good job. I like the way that this one works specifically, and it does, again, this one is just giving me such great ideas on a character that I need to put together. It's time for me to put pen to paper and actually get working on that. Scion of Lucretia is a very interesting thing because it opens up the idea of an elder vampire who has given you support in some fashion. She is helping you to acquire like success in a venture, and the fact that you've been able to learn from her in this fashion and gain the help and learn how to be as constructive. Like I'm so stuck because I have a character who I don't want to be socially accepted, basically, but I also think that this Loresheet would be so good for them. It's hard. As a storyteller, I'm having trouble here. Anyway, I am voivodemekhet. This is Our World of Darkness, and thank you for joining me in a look at another Loresheet that is found in Laws of the Night, which was created by By Night Studios and brings out the live-action roleplay rules for Vampire the Masquerade. Good evening.